old school bodybuilding clothing company. If leg day was yesterday and now you're wondering why toilets are so damn low, you are definitely old school. If you're the only athlete at your gym that knows there's a contest today and it's to see who trains the hardest, you are old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
I'm Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. From my earliest bodybuilding days, I believed in only putting the best in my body. And that lives on in the Species Nutrition line of products. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
I haven't seen the sun in a week and a half. Look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of After Hours. I'm here with John Romano, Gregg Valentino, Mr. G, and you never know, Jimmy the Bull may show up a little later. What's up, guys?
How you doing, Davey?
Very good. I met with my surgeon. Oh, I didn't meet with my surgeon. Everything's telemedicine now, you know.
Right.
I got to show him my scar, and he said, it looks good. And he said, I'm doing well. I had 5 little they took 23 lymph nodes. You know, I wouldn't know this. I thought there was only like 10 lymph nodes in your whole neck. There's like 100 or something like that. They took 23 out. I had 5 positive lymph nodes with very small cells in there, very small little things in there. So they're going to be giving me radioactive iodine, I guess, in like anywhere from like 6 to 8 weeks. They don't really rush it.
Oh, they wait that long?
Yeah. It doesn't matter, supposedly. It's because this, and you know what? It's funny because they actually have to give you like shots of thyroid stimulating hormone, because the thyroid stimulating hormone drives the radioactive iodine into any cells that may be floating around your body, whether they be thyroid cancer cells or just regular thyroid cells that they may have missed, and it will just obliterate those cells. So it's like a smart target type of effect to see, just in case there is stuff around. And then what they do is a week later, they scan you. They scan your body, and any radioactive iodine that might have, you know, located itself wherever, you know, if there was a spread of these cells to any part of your body, they'll actually be able to see where it is, or where it went to.
Do you still have your thyroid at all, Dave?
No, they took the whole thing out. I take replacement.
Do you notice a difference at all in your, like, the way you feel or
not yet.
Your body?
No, not yet. I've been taking replacement every day. Take 137 micrograms. I guess it must be a decent dose. I feel pretty good so far, but you know, I would have to imagine, you know, you're not going to feel it right away if I was too low. I definitely am not too high, but if I was too low, maybe it might take a month or two before I feel it. They usually do blood work on you at the 3-week mark after surgery. So then I'll know what my levels are, and they'll know if they need to up or lower my T4 ingestion.
Oh, you're on T4, not T3, right?
Yeah, because they put you on T4 initially, and then your body will convert what it needs to T3 theoretically. So if I come back and my TSH is normal and my T4 and T3 are normal, then they know they got the right doses. If I'm a little low, they may want to bump it up a little bit. I didn't gain any body fat. If anything, I think I'm leaner. So we'll see.
Is that possible?
I don't know if it's possible, but you never know. You never know.
Not possible.
They give you. It's funny because your parathyroid glands, which are located on the corners of your thyroid, are responsible for calcium absorption. So they sometimes they give you calcium like for the first week or two, to make sure. Sometimes the parathyroids get a little traumatized by the surgery. They left them in there, obviously, but they may not be working. I never had a problem. Like you would normally, sometimes you would feel tingling in your fingers, or because calcium is responsible for muscle contraction, everything like that. I didn't feel anything, so I guess my calcium was good. But I went right back on my V mineralized formula, and that has plenty of calcium in it. So he was good. He said, "Look, I'm happy." He wasn't surprised that there was a few lymph nodes involved. He said that usually happens. It's funny because my nodule was really, really small that they removed, but he said it doesn't even matter. And I didn't know this, but I don't know if you guys are aware. Supposedly, whether a tumor in your body will metastasize, which means spread, it has very little to do with the size of the tumor. It has more to do with genetically, is that what your body does? So, in other words, if you have a family history where you have cancer and the cancer is metastasized, you're more likely to metastasize. So lucky me, my whole Jewish side of the family, they all died of cancer in there, and everyone had metastasis. So maybe that's why my little teeny nodule I had was shedding cells, just because genetically that's what my body does, which I found interesting because I never heard that before.
That is interesting. And I wouldn't have thought that.
Because you got people with huge tumors in their body and they don't even metastasize. It's weird, and that's why he said it's weird, because it has nothing to do with the tumor size. It has a lot to do with the genetics that you're dealing with.
Interesting.
And this is still the doctor you grew up with, right? Or went to school with?
That's the endocrinologist. The guy I was talking to is the surgeon. The surgeon is friends with my friend, and he's just as great. This guy, he's awesome. I mean, he's like. This is like a Dr. Blau of like thyroid surgery, type of thing.
I don't know if that's
He
good
does
or not.
thousands of them, Greg.
To me, Blau was a little bit of a nut job, but I don't know.
Now, you went to Blau?
Yeah, but I went to him because I wanted to get the arm fixed and shit.
Oh, but he probably thought you were crazy. That's why. Blau is very conservative. He won't do anything like weird like that. He won't start, messing with like. I mean, that your arm was tough to What was he gonna do for your arm?
Well, I had the skin was all fucked up, because I had the hole in my one arm. You know what I mean? And he was like, I don't know how to do this. He was basically.
He was honest with you. He'd never seen it in his life.
No, but he was telling me I could cut here and then tighten it, and then we could come back and cut here and then tighten it again, and then do this and then do that. And I'm like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? He goes, what do you think about that? I said, well, you're the doctor. But then again, I also went to Nadler for the same thing. And Nadler was like, with the hole, right? He's like, I could like put a little plug in there like a spackle. And I was like,
I would run for the hills after when he told me that, right, John?
Dude, I didn't know.
He's going to spackle Greg's spackle My grandfather used to spackle his car when it was rusted. He would get spackle out.
That's what he wanted to do to my fucking arm.
He told me one time he was having these micro cannulas made, and that he could liposuction the fat from between the striations. So he said, I did a guy's delts the other day, and you could just see the skin laying in between the striations.
John, he told me the same thing. You know what he told me? He's gonna do it between guys' abs. Like each block.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Nadler, and I like the guy. He was a good guy, Obviously a nutcase. Obviously a nutcase because he killed himself and his wife, but he seemed like whenever I met him, he was always very nice to me. But he did there was a guy out here who's no longer with us too. May he rest in peace. He did shoulder implants on this guy, and he did calf implants and pec implants. The pec implants were down to his fucking abs. The shoulder implants looked like tricep implants, and the calves were infected where the guy almost lost his legs, like Dan Duchesne's girlfriend. So Nadler was a nice guy, but maybe not the best surgeon out there.
Dude, he did a friend of mine's calves, and they dropped down to his ankle.
Yeah, that's what this guy had. Same thing. Everything dropped.
They dropped to his fucking ankles. You had to have it fixed immediately. He was walking around with 2 giant grapefruits down by his ankle. Dude,
Nadler was he was like a Dan Duchesne only with a license, That's
dude. He was, Bleckman told me. Steve Bleckman told me, don't go to Nadler. He's not even He's not even a plastic surgeon.
He's not.
No. He wasn't board certified.
Not board certified yet.
Right.
He told me he was like an ear, nose, and throat doctor or some shit.
I think he was originally. Yeah, I think he was originally. You're right.
But what's fun?
Rule number 1 when talking to Bleckman: don't listen to him.
Well, listen, I have a friend that also got pec implants, and I remember the guy calling me up going, Greg, do you have any Novodeck? This is, way back, in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I said, why, your bitch hits so bad? He goes, yeah. He goes, but the strangest thing is, he goes, they're not on my nipples. And I go, where the fuck would a bitch tit be then? And he goes, it's like 3 inches above my nipple. And I'm like, and he had pec implants by Nadler. So I said, shit.
He moved the glands.
Wait, listen to this. This is a true story. He goes, well, I said to him, well, maybe Nadler, when the gland moved, when he stuck them fucking pec implants in there, he went to another doctor. They had to pull him out. It wasn't a fucking bitch tit. It was an infection that was festering for 2 years.
Oh my God.
It was festering, in fact. So now he had 2 holes where there was supposed to be fats because it fucking ate away all the muscle and everything.
All right, after having said all this, John, Greg was saying, well, Blau was a little kooky because he didn't want to operate on him, but Nadler was going to put spackle in his arm.
Well, you know what it is? Blau's specialty's bitch tits. I never had no bitch tits or nothing. But
he did mine. He did mine. He did a great
job. I saw him do yours.
He did thousands of guys I sent him.
You were like this.
The thing I remember most about that was waking up and everybody's ordering Chinese food.
Why, were you nauseous?
We were celebrating your.
I was unconscious. As I'm coming out of the anesthesia, I'm hearing, I want General Tao's chicken, and
I'll have a side of John's, sautéed. Well done, please.
Oh, dude. It's just that he was like, he's very German or whatever the fuck.
He's
Israeli.
He's Israeli.
We could cut this and then we could cut that and then we could pull it like
no,
this.
I'll do the impression of him because I know him very well. Greg, don't worry. We look good. Don't worry. I cut here. Just don't worry about it. We do a little bit at a time. We want to make it look aesthetic. I've never seen anything like this.
I cut here. We use no anesthesia.
He probably was horrified. He probably was telling everyone after that, you would not believe what I saw in my office today.
Got a guy whose arms exploded.
Yeah, I got the guy he wants me to put them back together.
It was the other arm. It's that whole arm exploding thing. But this thing.
In all seriousness, I'm surprised they haven't figured out how to take they glued my neck together after I had no stitches. I didn't ooze. It didn't, nothing. It was perfect. You would think that they would be able to create some kind of a tissue substance that if you're missing a piece of a muscle or you have a hole from some kind of accident, that they could inject this tissue, paste in there that will be fused with whatever's there and become part of the, maybe made up of stem cells and I don't know what. But whoever comes up with that idea, that's $1 billion idea. Yeah, and it will happen.
And let me tell you why. That's very true. When I had my motorcycle accident, the bad one, 20 years ago, we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
I had 72 stitches in my calf. Okay. What did they put on top? It was a gash. It goes almost all the way around my leg.
Yeah.
This wide. You know what they put in? They packed it with fucking gauze, right? So I go to get my stitches out. Guess what they got to do? Take a tweezer and start yanking that fucking gauze out. You know how much that hurt? It was. I said, you got to stop.
The problem is it fills in with scar tissue and it doesn't. It's not functional.
Dude, that's what I had in my arm.
No, the blood soaks in and sticks to it.
I had that in my arm.
They got to come up with something where they can inject it in because the body doesn't like to have an open cavity. So what it does is it fills it with fluid, right? And then once the fluid finally does get reabsorbed, it replaces that with scar tissue, which is non-functional and doesn't look good. And it's angular and it has all kinds of weird. They need to get a tissue where they can fill like 100cc syringe. They put it in there and they just inject it into that hole, whether it be your pec hole or a bicep tear hole or a motorcycle accident gouge. And those stem cells or whatever tissue ingredients they put in there will turn into the tissue that it's next to, and will basically heal that area. I can't believe we're that far off from being able to do that. I have to say, within the next 10 years, they'll be able to do that.
Tony Hughes just told me some shit that he knows of some certain things. Him and Trevor, about like that, similar to that.
Yeah, but those are guys. They do stuff like probably that's like silicone and stuff like that. Type stuff.
No, you know what Nadler said to me when he said he was going to spackle it. I said, but let me ask you a question. He was going to take a mold of it and then put this spackle thing there.
Yeah.
And I said, but what's going to anchor it? What's to stop it from, if I get hit in the arm, it fucking moving? And he goes, I won't move. It'll just stay in place. So I'm like, you're not going to put it under the skin under the muscle or something? No. It'll stay there. You're right.
Yeah, like the calf implant.
Like the calf implant. I'd have to spackle this weird looking fucking thing.
Greg would have had this little ball. Johnny could have moved it around his arm. He would have put, I want a bigger peak today. I'll just put it on my bicep arm.
Oh my God, can you imagine that?
Well, actually, let me translate that. I don't think he may have said spackle, but I think what he meant was some kind of prosthetic.
That's what he meant. He said like spackle. He kept saying it. It's like
No,
spackle.
John, I think he meant spackle. I legitimately think he was going to take a spackle bucket and he'll sterilize it a little bit and put it in there, pack it in there. And that's what I really think he was meant, spackle.
But actually, I think a prosthetic and it went under the fascia and just plugged the hole. I think it would have stayed there.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't trust it.
The arm moves, John. What are you going to do when you move it? It's going to feel like you're getting stabbed with something every time, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, plus when
silly,
I go
you know
like
what?
that.
I just bought my kid Silly Putty. I didn't even know they still made it. Silly Putty probably working there.
Yeah, I'm something, man. You know, something, you know, that doesn't get hard all the way.
Yeah, but you know what? Leave my dick out of this. But yeah, it doesn't get hard all the way. Listen, when I go like this, I can move.
I thought you meant Silly Putty.
I know what you meant. With the hole, I could go like this, and then the hole goes away. Like you've seen, I showed you pictures.
John, they could have put Silly Putty there. Greg could have used his arm to make, you know, how you go in the newspaper and you could, like, you know, get the impression of the newspaper on the Silly Putty.
Yeah, like.
That's what it was.
And he couldn't remember a phone number. He could take the paper and he could just be like, oh, there we go. I got it right there. There's the phone number.
The comic strip. You can have a different tattoo every week. You just hit the comic strip.
Speaking of comic strips, hold on. Speaking of comic strips, I got to put this up there. Someone sent me this. My friend Dave, who does my floors in my house, sent me this sort of T-shirt in Walmart. This is the perfect logo for Jimmy the Bull. Look at this thing. Hold on, Tyler's pulling it up. If this is not going to be Jimmy's new logo for the hot dog stand, I don't know what else is. Watch this.
Tyler's got to start anticipating better.
Oh, hold on.
The whole thing to show you guys.
Tyler's got to pull it up, but
This should be the new logo right here.
that's your new logo, yeah. But wait till you
Right
see this
here.
new.
How come you get a cookie?
Mr. Potts cookies.
I
right
can't. I
here.
have no cookies. I have no
These
cookies
are
here.
amazing.
No. You got one named there for you. You got the Jumbo Palumbo. He's got one.
You got to get the Romano cookie.
Yeah, really. Look at it. This thing is amazing. I can't believe that's made with isolized.
I give Georgie nothing but good ideas.
Yeah, what you got to come up with your own cookie idea there. That's all.
I gave it to him already.
Oh, you
George,
did?
that peanut butter's got isolized too, right?
Yes.
Holy, dude, that's amazing. You should. Anybody out there, you should write to George. And
Mine should be no macadamia nut white chocolate.
Oh.
That's awesome.
How good is that?
That's awesome.
That definitely should be Jimmy's logo.
Except you got
I
to write 1,000 pounds on the
Yeah. You know, I interviewed that guy, Julius Maddox. It hasn't come out yet, but I interviewed him yesterday. He bench pressed 782 pounds raw, and he's going to be going June 19th. He's going to be going for over 800. Wow. Some guy's putting up like $500,000 for him to do it in the Chicago Wrigley Stadium in Chicago.
Jeez.
And this guy was like a high school phenomenal athlete, running back, 6'3", 300 pounds. He ran a 4.8 40-yard dash. He was a center. He played center. He was the center in basketball. That's what he really loved to do. He would dunk the ball at 300 pounds. And he threw the shot put and discus in track and field. But he was like one of these guys that didn't care. He was lazy. He would go out and party. And he got kicked off the football team in his junior year, which cost him a scholarship. For 10 years after that, was like, into drugs and just became a loser basically. And then he got cleaned out, and the rehab place where he was in the basement. He lived in Kentucky. It was like a dirt floor basement. They had like a bench press down there. So he started bench pressing down there, like every day, like just 135 pounds. Maybe I think he went up to 225. So he would do reps with it. And one day he's sitting there with all the guys, and they're like, "I bet you could probably lift every weight, and you could bench press every weight we have in this little weight room." So he's like, "Well, load the bar up." So they loaded up with everything they got there, and he bench presses it 3 times. I said, "Well, how much weight was it?" He goes, "That's what I asked him." I said, "How much weight did I just do?" 503 pounds he did.
Wow.
Raw, never had done more than 225. So the guy is he's a phenomenal. He's like a natural
this guy?
wonder.
What's his name?
Julius Maddox. He has the world bench press raw record at 782 now. He will I think he'll pass 800. He thinks he's got 900 in him. And the weird part about this is that no one is even close to this guy, in terms of what they could bench raw. It's unbelievable. The guy He even said to me, up until I think a year ago, he was completely natural. Now he's on hormone replacement, 300 milligrams of testosterone a week, because he said his testosterone was like 280. So he was doing this benching, lifting 700 pounds raw bench with a 250 testosterone level. Crazy.
Dave, how old is he?
He's young. He's pretty young. He's 33.
Oh, he's a young guy.
I got this kid named Hunter Hernandez. He's 130 pounds. He benched 500.
Wow.
He's got a world record in his weight class.
That's crazy. That's impressive because of his body weight.
3 times his body weight.
Yeah, that's impressive because of his body weight. But the fact that, think about, no human being has ever done, what this guy has done. It's unreal. I mean, and the guy is literally doing it in a one of those unitards. There's no equipment. It's
Jimmy
raw.
Jimmy the Bull used to bench in a tank top up to 800.
Jimmy, Jimmy missed
him.
his mark. I know Jimmy should have tried to set that world record back in the day. I know he was supposed to.
I spotted him 600 pounds reverse bench. 600 pounds reverse bench. I told him, dude,
Jimmy didn't reverse bench. That was the Barbarian Brothers. Jimmy did regular bench press.
No, he did it. I swear to God. Remember him and I talked about it on here.
I don't think he ever did a reverse bench press.
I did. I spotted him. We were at the woman's on stage at the woman's extravaganza.
Oh, I never saw him do a reverse grip bench. I seen him do skull crushes with that weight, but.
He was fucking throwing weights around in the back. It was woo.
Yeah, but Jimmy, this was an official, lift this guy did. This was, in competition. If you watch it on his Instagram, maybe Tyler could pull up his Instagram, Julius Maddox. They have the bench press there. The guy, you can tell how heavy the weight is because the guys that use, I love the guys that do the crazy shirt benching because I like to see over 1,000 pounds. But when those guys have the shirts on, they actually have to pull the weight down. That's how tight those shirts are. With Julius, the weight, you can see how heavy it is because the weight comes down pretty fast, and then he drives it up like it's like he's doing 135. It's unbelievable,
Yeah, but with Paletti, for Jimmy, the one thing I got to say about Jimmy though, it did heavy weights and everything. He fucking curled.
There's a video,
like 200-pound dumbbell. I mean, he was fucking. He did it in everything. Some guys are just benchers. Jimmy did it in every movement he did was ridiculous. Right?
Yep. Here it is. I don't think this is the bench. Is this?
Oh, he's a watch.
Dumbbell kickbacks used to do with 200.
Oh, this is 782.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right here, 782, guys. Look at this.
They can't see it.
Oh, they can't see it? Oh, well. Everyone else can see it except you guys.
21st century, and we can't see it.
It's like this back on the arm thing.
It's funny. I said to him, you know what? I was just thinking, back in high school, can you imagine playing football against this guy? He was a running back, a fullback. He was 308. He weighed. He was 6'3". Can you imagine trying to stop this guy running in high school? As a high school, I mean, what did guys weigh in high school? 180 pounds, 150 pounds,
Wait a minute. He was 308 in height.
Yes, he was a 308, 6'3".
Get the
fullback.
fuck out of here! And he ran a 4.8 at 308.
Yes, can you imagine getting hit by that? It'd be like getting hit by a car,
I got a kid like that. I got a kid like that in college. He's 6'2", 312, and he just ran the 40 and 4.9.
Crazy.
And bench press 225 40 times.
Wait a minute, how much did he weigh, John?
312.
How do kids develop like that so quickly?
And he ran a fucking 4.9? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. He's
Listen to me.
22 years old.
This guy, and I'm sure your guy too, John, this guy used to run people over. He didn't even try to run around them. He just ran through people.
This guy goes right through them.
Yeah,
he goes
Dude, that's like
right through
Refrigerator Perry. Remember Refrigerator Perry?
Yep.
He
sends me videos of him playing. The other kids are scared of him.
Right.
He's so freaking menacing. And he went to his pro day last week at 18 to look at him.
Wow.
Imagine when we went to high school, fucking nobody, how many guys lifted weights? I lifted weights, but there wasn't
No, they had the Universal.
We did the Universal. Yeah, that Universal.
Yeah, remember that shit? You see how much you could buy? I used to do the stack when I was in 9th grade, bro.
I know. Well, you were strong. I mean, I was the smallest kid. I graduated at 5'8". 155
but you know what, George?
Hold
on. That universal bench press, it was not created equal for everyone. The guys with the short arms only had to move it like about 6 inches. So
how dare you?
I had these very long arms. I had to like move it like 20 inches. You know?
I used to do shrugs with that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I was already lifting weights, so it was you know, I had no trouble doing it, and I was a good bencher too.
Senior year in high school, I was one of the biggest guys.
But imagine that, dude,
noise?
a guy like that, fucking 300 pounds running. You're in high school, and we were.
George, what are you in the middle of the Jersey Turnpike?
What's that?
What are you in the middle of the Jersey Turnpike?
No, I'm at Spring Lake, the Irish Riviera. Where all the rich Irish live. The houses are from $5 million to $60 million.
Are your windows down?
Yeah, your windows down. Why don't you put the air conditioning on?
I don't need the air conditioning.
And close the window.
Look what I got sent in the mail from Robert Puentes. Badass MF. This thing weighs like 45 pounds.
George, mute your mic.
Yeah, I put the windows up.
Ah, Hulk smash! My son can't wait to get a hold of this thing.
I want you to do a video of him swinging that thing.
He probably could. He's very strong.
And then he hit you right in the nuts with it.
You know what he did? You know what he did yesterday, though? You know, I had this big turtle tub with like all my turtles in it. My albino turtles. They're worth a lot of money in there. You know, they're gorgeous. He decided he was going to. I don't know why he was in this mischievous move. He decided he's going to put dishwashing soap into the turtle tub. So luckily, I go and check on the turtles before I go into the house. I got a female who's going to lay eggs, and I see like it looks like bubble bath in there, and I'm like, oh my god, what did you do? I was screaming at him. I was like. Yeah, I did freak out. He was punished the rest of the night, needless to say.
At least they're clean.
Yeah. I had to empty the entire. Thank God I got him out of there really quickly, and I emptied the entire tub. Luckily, turtles breathe from the surface, but there was literally so many bubbles you couldn't even see the turtles. That's how many.
Yeah,
you put
you know
in.
I got turtles too, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
I got 2 turtles.
Greg's got a lot of little animals. Yeah, a lot of reptiles.
How many animals do you have, Dave, altogether?
It's impossible to calculate because the snakes, there's got to be 350, I don't know, snakes, 300.
Where do you keep them all?
I have a very, beneath us, yeah, I have a very big room. A lot of them, you see, snakes don't take up a lot of room. The babies are in like little drawers almost, you know, and ball pythons live in termite
video
mounds.
Tour of that.
John, didn't you ever go there? I was at his place where he had them snakes and he was opening up the drawers.
Yeah, you saw it.
The worst is the fucking mice. When he was throwing the mice in there, those things stink. Those fucking mice.
Yeah, you know, I hate the rodent part of it is the worst, feeding them.
Oh my God,
I hate feeding day. Because first of all, I feel bad. I don't really like to feed the mice, but I do a lot of frozen thoughts. So you buy the frozen stuff, you defrost them, and then you kind of wiggle them, and they eat them. But I hate feeding. Other than that, I love the snakes because they're like, it's like an obsession almost like I have with them.
Those were no frozen mice when I was there.
What?
You can get them to eat dead animals?
Yeah, they'll eat frozen. The boas will eat frozen thawed. Carpet pythons, ball pythons too. They're a pain in the asses. Usually the ball pythons, like the babies, you got to feed them like hopper mice because they like to see movement.
Whatever happened to Blecky?
I still have Blecky. Blecky actually might be delivering her second litter of eggs or clutch, as we say, of eggs this year. She's 10 years old now.
How big is she?
You know what? Blecky went on a hunger strike. I think she was doing intermittent fasting for about 3 years. So she just, she must have read an article somewhere in the Journal of Nutrition and Medicine. Because I couldn't get this snake to eat. I thought it was going to die. Literally 3 years. This thing might have eaten one thing.
Hey, Dave, I saw how much your snakes go for.
Wait. I want to hear how big Blecky is.
Oh, there's my channel. Yeah, you guys can't see it probably, but...
So how big is Blecky? How many
Blecky's probably about 4 feet and probably about maybe like a Coke can around. Not as big as the real Blecky's neck, you know, but he's Cro-Magnon, but she's pretty big. You know, she's definitely gonna lay a clutch of eggs. I'll have to do a video.
I don't know, Dave.
Snakes live a long time if you give them, you know, if you treat them right. She's 10 years old.
You were using live mice when I was there, and them fucking things stunk.
Yeah, well, rodents stink in general.
Oh my
Remember-
God! I
remember when-
thought you were breeding them too.
Remember when Scuderi brought the freaking giant frogs and he was trying to?
Well, Scuderi is the one who gave me Blanky. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, I remember that. But the rat, remember the frog wouldn't eat the rat, and he was getting pissed off and was smacking the rat and getting.
Yeah, that wasn't nice. Yeah.
Shit!
We don't like that. But yeah, how about that guy we brought? Remember the Eric, the reptile keeper? He brought the big Burmese python.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you
for
weren't
that.
there for that? Oh, you were there, George, right?
Thank God.
Yeah.
He brought an alligator. He brought like a Burmese python. He brought
The Johnny Carson show.
Yeah,
Holy Christ! Yeah, right.
pretty funny.
I remember that. And the fucking animals would run around. White Johnny Carson.
You know, so,
Hit on him.
a guy I'm friends with, Nick Rizzo, sent me this this study they did. They did a study saying over the past 12 months, they surveyed over 36,000 gym members, tracking how the pandemic has affected their return to the gyms, memberships, and approach to staying fit. The newest survey shows a third of gym members are gone for good, stating that they don't plan on returning even when
That's the
vaccinated.
truth.
On top of that, 55% of members have either canceled or passed their memberships since the start of the pandemic. Crazy, right?
Well,
Nobody wants to wear a mask.
All these people
That's
put
what it
home
is.
gyms in, and they spent all this money buying home gym equipment. They
That's
got
true.
used to training at home. They like training at home, so they're not going back to the gym.
But it's a mask. You got to wear a fucking mask. So who wants to wear a mask when you train?
You know what the odd thing, though,
I
John,
think
is?
it's both.
The odd
I
thing
think
is
it's
that
both.
all the,
Yeah.
the established gyms that have been here, a lot of them have gone out of business or are going out of business. But yet there's a lot of new gyms popping up. Like we have a Crunch Fitness opening across the street from two existing gyms that are doing very poorly because of this pandemic. It's like new gyms now are taking, like almost they're taking advantage of the fact that these other gyms were basically put out of business because they couldn't operate for a year and a half.
Well, you're in Florida, so it's a different story. George and I were up. He's in Jersey.
It's even
I'm in
worse
New
where you
York,
guys
know?
are, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh fuck, dude! Forget about it.
Well, the place
Yeah.
I'm at's growing because I think the new evolution of gyms is going to be with all the fighting stuff involved in it. Like your son would benefit unbelievable from the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'd
Get all
love
the-
to.
My
get him in
daughter.
there.
My
Can you-
daughter's
can-
a jiu-jitsu fighter.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
Like,
bring.
so-
I think I'm moving Greg's daughter down here to train my son. What do you think about that?
Oh, you meant Dave's son.
Yeah, Dave's son. Yeah, the jiu-jitsu thing is unbelievable for the kids. It teaches them discipline. Teach them self-confidence.
I got to get Greg's
did-
daughter to teach all my kids how to fight because
Oh, she could believe me. She's great with kids.
Listen, I had a 120-pound guy pull my fucking shoulder right out. I got so mad. I wanted to elbow him.
I got
got up and elbow.
I got to say, George, you're
George.
60. George, you're 63 years old. You don't have any problems with your joints and stuff like that fighting. At that age.
No, yeah. Well, unless someone pulls it out, because that's what happens when you go live.
Hold on.
so-
Do these guys know that who you're grappling with, how old you are?
Yeah, but I'm stronger than them. So what happens is my skin. I'm Listen, I'm going to get.
They're grappling with like their grandfathers. These guys.
Yeah, I know. Wait, they're 23 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Right, so my first day, I thought I was in the WWE. The guy's trying to grab my gi. You wear those white gis.
Yeah.
And I'm smacking his hands off. When the guy, I got too crazy.
Like the midget.
But the deal is,
You start throwing the guys around and you're in.
You know what? I got to tell you, Mr. G
I
has
can
missed
picture George throwing them around.
you know what? You're missing a huge opportunity to make money. My kids watch these YouTube channels that all these parents, they dress up in all these crazy costumes and they play out these little skits. These videos have millions and millions of views. These people are making like a couple $1 million a year off of YouTube. I'm like, fuck, Mr. G wears that stuff and doesn't even get paid for it. I said, you're missing the mark here.
Hey George, I'm eating that cookie right here.
We got to get George,
Amazing.
Greg, and Jimmy the Bull. They can create their own YouTube channel for kids where they dress up as like different characters and
Yeah,
blast each
I
other
wanna
with Nerf
teach-
blasters.
I want to give lessons through teaching the, through the costumes, like just like the cartoons are. Give more, moral, give them morality and questions, and teach them how to be little leaders and confident in themselves.
That's a great idea,
Discipline.
George. You with the costume, I like that.
No, but George,
yeah.
that's what's very popular on YouTube right now, and I'm telling you, they're monetizing these videos. And my son doesn't watch the video once; he watches it 1,000 times. Now multiply that times how many millions of kids out there. Now you know why there's so many views on these videos.
Yeah. So if I came dressed as a dragon and did jiu-jitsu moves and stuff like that, and had the kids follow along,
absolutely, I think you'd have a very popular channel.
Just don't go dressed as a drag queen. That'll fucking
no.
And Lenny will want to fuck you in the ring.
Hey, so Dave, I go from.
I like
so
Lenny. Some of them.
I got to tell you about the jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu is the hardest thing. For the first half hour, you're doing drills and they're showing you new techniques. And the second half hour is live. You're actually going 3 to 5 minutes live with the guy, like you're in a match.
Oh, really?
Choking. Oh, yeah.
And you enjoy this?
I absolutely love it. Then after that, I do an hour of Muay Thai boxing. Today I'm gonna
and then you
today
run.
My trainer's gonna take me in the ring.
Okay,
So
and then you
today
go running, right? How long do you run every day?
Right now, I'm gonna be up to an hour a day of running.
Oh my
You're gonna
God.
be able to, for every 1 minute in the ring, you should be able to run 45 minutes straight.
John, so Mr. G is training for essentially 3-4 hours a day for a fight that probably will never happen. And we wonder why he can't make enough cookies during the course of a day.
why I don't get any cookies.
He's wasted his whole day training now.
No, I train at night. I'm just here. I just so happens I was here during the day.
George, my daughter does the Muay Thai. That's the kicking, right? The kickboxing.
Yeah, the stance in Muay Thai is different than the
I would
boxing
love to see an
stance.
exhibition match between Gregg's daughter and Mr. G. How about that?
No, it would. First
Sparring,
of all,
just some sparring. Not real.
it's not good. Look, here's the situation. I'm much bigger than his daughter, way stronger, and one hit from me, it doesn't matter about the skill level.
30 seconds into the fight, Mr. G would be unconscious probably, John.
You're not gonna hit her.
No.
My daughter does fight guys though in sparring. She had a black dude throw her off the fucking mats, but she didn't hit the mat.
Mr. G would be in a hospital bed with it intubated. Like he'd be like, this fight didn't start yet. What happened? What happened?
Oh, let me tell you, they come home fucked up. She comes home.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the
This
face gets fucked
Yeah,
up.
you're getting hit. Yeah,
She comes home fucked. It's no joke. It's live.
No.
They don't wear. She don't wear no. They're doing jujitsu, man. She gets slammed face first on the mat and shit.
The jiu-jitsu stuff is way worse. Imagine your leg being bent the opposite way. I mean, as soon as that happens, the worst thing. If a 400-pound guy tried to tackle your daughter, and they don't know what they're doing, she'd have him on board in 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, fucking. She talks about that now. She's like,
Yeah, because the first thing they do is push up. Once a guy pushes up or puts his hand on your neck, done. You take his arm to the side, legs over his neck, and voila.
Is that your strategy with the Big Lenny?
No, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna be just like an animal. I'm gonna be able to fight for an hour straight in the ring. No rest.
The fight might last 10 seconds, George.
It's not even going to last. All George has to do is move around. Big Lenny's going to follow him and get gassed and pass out.
It'll
be the most
hope it doesn't
non-violent
happen.
fight you ever saw.
I hope it don't happen.
Well, I want to prove to people that 63 years old, you can still do an MMA fight. When I tell all the guys I'm fighting in the cage, they go.
You know what might be even funnier, John? What if Mr. G and Big Lenny were like a tag team against like 2 other guys? That might be even funnier, actually.
No, well, here's the
That
promo.
would be WWE all the way.
This is the promo,
Triple H
Dave.
may call me up and say, "Are these guys available for
Hold on,
WrestleMania?"
Dave, wait a second, Dave. Mr. G, the fighting Irishman versus Lenny, the powerlifter. So it's a fighter versus a powerlifter. And Lenny comes out like Darth Vader.
No, that's too cookie cutter for Lenny. No, I'm saying if you guys tag teamed, it was a tag team like, you know where you have to you smack each other, you go in, and then Lenny goes in and does a couple smashing on the guy, then you tag, he gets gassed, he tags you, and you go in and do your crazy Mr. G, fucking jumping off the ring. And
well, they have they have events all the time when they have fights. They have fights before the fights. They have preliminaries where they might have like a sumo wrestler come out and fight a fighter.
I want to see you and Big Lenny as a tag, rather than fight each other as a tag team too.
Well, it's Dave. First of all, it's a competition. The best man wins.
Can you imagine the costumes that they would come out in, John, if they were like a tag team duo?
I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it don't. No,
I said I'd rather see them do it.
Why do you think it don't happen?
Because I think George has a big heart too. I think he's going to feel bad if he hurts him and stuff.
I saw George beat up a midget. He doesn't feel so bad about it. Believe me.
What happened?
I saw Mr. G beat up the midgets at the midget wrestling
thing. I was there too. I saw beat up the man, but I know he's
once the midget slammed George.
Yeah, but see, but what the difference here is that Mr. G's business was, hurt. They set out to hurt Georgie.
Yeah.
So he's
that's it. Throw some kerosene on a fire.
Right.
They're actually they're hurting Lenny. What they don't understand, the Order 66 hurts Lenny because no advertiser wants to hook up with Lenny, because if they do, his fans do that if they don't like him. His fans can make Lenny more money and be better if they did like an Order Hero where they actually promote the companies, because all the companies that advertise on this RX guys, all the people out there, and you Order 66 people, that's how this show gets on. That's how you're able to watch the show. That's how Lenny's able to come on shows. But if you guys target companies, they're not going to want to advertise with you, and then they may want to not advertise on the show. So use your heads.
They don't.
Do the reverse.
Yeah, they don't care.
What?
The problem is they don't care. They think it's just funny. But you know what? I found that in this new day and age we're in with social media, there really is no rules. You have to establish your own rules. My new take kind of on the whole thing is that, I really don't want to. I enjoy the whole you and Lenny thing because it's goofy and there's no real malintent there. But his fans are ridiculous. But I mean, with what they're doing, but because they don't even realize that Lenny and you are. I don't think there's a problem with you. I think it's more of like a comedy skit at this point. But
yeah, well, I did. Look, I did. I knew,
I don't want to.
When I yelled at Lenny, I knew what I was doing.
No, I know.
By calling, I did that. If I'm training somebody, and somebody comes to me and they're like fucking up, I'm not gonna be like, listen, I'm like, listen, you're fucking up. What are you doing with your fucking life? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're acting like a loser. That actually is what they wanted to hear. So this way they wake up and they actually start. So right now, for all Lenny's fans, guess what? Lenny's gonna lose weight. Lenny's going to get in shape. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
So that's a positive thing because he's way overweight. He can't last like that. No, nobody can.
You're indirectly saving his life, by causing him to.
Lenny. I think Lenny's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy.
So change his ways. He can change his ways and do funny stuff. He could be like Marty Feldman. Like from Young Frankenstein, where Lenny has that people want to watch him. I saw, Lenny goes skydiving, Lenny goes fencing, Also,
those are actually good ideas.
Game of Thrones.
Like Mr. Bean, like Mr. Bean. You just anything. The guy just stands there, you laugh. Lenny has.
Hey, did you watch Game of Thrones?
What?
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Of course, I love it. My favorite.
Okay. The character Hodor.
Right. Hodor, yeah.
Hodor. Big Hodor. Lenny, Hodor.
I never
That's why I said he looks like the Abominable Snowman. Like the Abominable Snowman doesn't really talk. He's just like, but you love the character. There's something about him.
Yeah, there is. I like Lenny. I think I like him.
I would have never had Lenny on the show if I didn't like him. I like him a lot. I think he's got a good heart, and I think
George likes him too. George was the show before.
Yeah.
George was trying to help him. I know George likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I did that. I did that for a purpose.
I know George likes him. He's a good guy. Lenny's not a bad guy. He's just like all of us, a squirrel trying to get a nut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he can get more nuts the other way by being good instead of being negative. Instead of his fans destroying and destruction.
Well, you know
use
what
it
is,
for life.
George, you know what it is, honestly? You know how you got guys around you? Remember there was a kid in school, you go, yo, go up to that girl and fucking grab her in the ass and then run, you know. And the kid would want, because he wants to be around everybody, wants to be, so he would do that. So I think there's other people, but I think Lenny himself.
He's being used. He's being used.
I think
Him
Lenny
and Jason,
is a
Jason
good guy.
Genova. Jason and the other kid, Jason Genova.
Yeah, that kid.
He said to me all sorts of things with his email.
He doesn't care.
Oh yeah. You Italian mafia, greasy Italian mob guys.
Nah, they're all good kids. I like Jason Genova, and I like Lenny. Jason Genova's not a bad kid. He's a good kid. I like him. I like him and Lenny. I don't care. I think they're good guys. I just think that, you know, they're like us. They're squirrels.
Well, I wonder what Jason just did is he left the video. And he started, and on his video, I saw he accused some guy, Kennedy or whatever, of being a sexually abusing people. I don't know what he did, but I'm like, what is the kid doing? Somebody needs to get that stuff you don't want. You want to accuse some people.
You know what, Judge? I don't think anyone takes him seriously. Like, and I like Jason too. I actually had Jason in my studio as well. I had him down here. So
I know, Dave. But there's certain things you should.
You're trying to speak logically to some people that don't necessarily. It doesn't process that well in their brain. You know that what you're saying is not, you know, appropriate.
It's gonna lead to him. It'll lead to him not being able to go on social media at all, because people will have a lawyer. They will sue him, you know, and that will happen.
No.
So before that happens, look, he knows right and wrong.
You know what? You know, those guys are fun, and that's why we play with them, and
I like them both.
They play
I
with
like
us.
Jason
But
Genova.
I'm not addressing. A lot of people have asked. I'm not addressing any of the other negativity on the internet. I'm trying to keep our show very positive, if possible. You know, so.
Well, let's move along.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, getting back to the gym thing, I wanted to talk about. So what I think we're going to start seeing is we're going to see a lot of. It's almost going to be like someone wiped the slate clean. A lot of the gyms that were existing are going to be out of business, and we're going to see a whole new genre of gyms coming into
I'm telling
business.
you, Dave. The gyms that I'm in now, like the gym I train at now, has the boxing rings, it has the cage, it has 4 dojos to do Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, and then it has a full-on gym.
How do you box with a mask on?
No, we don't wear masks when
My daughter don't wear no fucking mask.
No, you're not. You can't. No, we're not wearing any of that stuff.
How are you going to get a? See, that's the thing.
John, let me tell you.
Here's what happened. When this whole bullshit started, the gym started closing. People did one of two things. They had friends who had gyms and they kept going to the gym, like me, or they put a home gym in their gym. In their house.
100%.
I also did. So now that I've invested like thousands of dollars in my home gym, what am I going to do? Just abandon it down there and then go?
But you know what, though, John?
No, you use it.
You need other people around.
The camaraderie.
Actually, you don't.
Exactly, George.
Actually, you don't. Because what happens is you get used to it. And I thought I'm going to hate training at home. I need the gym. I need the people. And you know what? After 2 weeks, that all went out the window. I got the music blasting. I'm in my pajamas. I got no shirt on. I'm training in my house. I can do whatever I want.
I don't know.
That's how I get to watch TV. I had no time to watch TV, so now I've combined watching TV. I have my Bluetooth. I have my Apple AirPods on. Yep. I got the TV going. The kids are I put them to sleep. I do my workout. And I watch an episode of something, whatever I'm watching. You know.
Well, can I say something? Let me tell you something about jiu-jitsu, though. When you do that, it's not like bodybuilding. Jiu-jitsu, you're grabbing somebody else, and they're sweating on you and breathing their breath in your fucking face.
You're right.
George, how many times guys drop sweat droplets while you're resting?
Blood. I got blood. I've been elbowed.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's rough. I mean, what's cool about that is you're actively fighting. You're getting used to being on the ground, on your back.
But
when someone's on their back.
Georgie, you're in New Jersey. You're not going to be able to open a gym with no fucking masks. You got to go to this. The protocol has got to be followed, or they're going to close you.
Yeah, you go down.
Johnny,
You go down to Florida.
Like, listen to him now. He's right. My daughter, they're over there fucking rolling and everything.
I thought you were moving to Florida, George. What happened to
Forget
that?
the mask.
I'm coming down there the 19th.
Jimmy the
flying down
Bull
to Boca.
beat you already to the punch. He's already been down here.
Wait, I want to ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Are we going to be like? So we're coming down there Monday. I want to come there Tuesday. Can we come on the show Tuesday with my client? We want to come on the show on the 19th.
No, because you're COVID. I can't. We're in quarantine over here.
Oh no,
What?
Dave! I got the solution.
What?
Here's what we
Wait,
do.
whoa,
You come in a bubble. If you're like the boy in the
Wait,
bubble,
wait,
if you
wait.
come in a spacesuit, you can come.
No, here's what we do.
Wait, are you joking? Wait,
You're
hold on.
I got the answer. Here's what we do. Dave, we drain your pool. Drain the pool. You throw Lenny and Georgie in the pool, and the first guy to climb out wins.
It's like a cage match, right? Yeah, it's a cage match.
How about you keep the water in there and you throw them both?
How about we pour
Gonna be
macadamia
over
nut
in
oil
2
in there so
seconds.
it's real slippery too.
Wait,
So they can't get
wait,
out.
I want to get back to Dave.
Have Logan soap the empty pool first before they go.
They'll be falling all over the freaking place like a bunch of
Wait, Dave.
meatballs.
So I can't come see. So I can't come and see you.
Not if you're flying on an airplane and you're going to be exposed and you're going to be all over the place and you're wrestling with people on mats. I can't. You might have COVID. I can't expose. I just had cancer surgery. Can't be exposed.
Wow.
Unless you're going to wear a spacesuit or something like that.
Well, we come in Spain. We'll come like from the movie.
He'll come in
It
a
doesn't
fucking-
happen.
I'll tell you what. I'll have Tyler set you up in the driveway with a microphone, and we'll run an HDMI cord.
Yeah.
That's another reason why my idea works. Drain the pool; it's contained.
No, you know what?
Hold them off at
No,
the end.
fucking George will come there with a spacesuit on. You know that, right? And a helmet. Well, Dave, you said. I mean, you
Spacesuit
forget
with
it.
a spacesuit with a feather boa.
He comes with an oxygen tank on the back. He's fine. He can come in.
Wait,
George will
like
come there with a fucking helmet on, like fucking Buzz Aldrin
And a
and shit.
confetti
Well,
can.
Dave,
wait, I have to
You still got
establish
that
this.
confetti
My
can?
client, we're flying down to look at property in Boca and property.
I thought you
over in
moved to the
Cape-
West Coast.
We're looking at Boca and Cape Coral.
Yeah, that's two complete opposite sides of the state.
I know it is. So what? It's only 2.5 hours away.
Boca's very expensive. You're gonna find.
Yeah, so my client wants to buy something there, because he wants to be able to walk to the shul, the synagogue.
Dave, my brother-in-law's a cop. My brother-in-law's cousin's a cop in your town.
Oh, he is really? I
In
didn't know.
Cape Coral, yeah. So if you
Wow.
get in trouble, let me know. I'll talk to my brother.
Brother-in-law's cousin.
No, my brother-in-law's. No, my brother-in-law's cousin, his first cousin. They're very close.
Find out his name so I can get
Well,
him
my
on the.
brother-in-law's last name is DeRosso. It's my sister's husband.
Tell him to come over. I'll give him some supplements.
And a snake.
And a
Yeah,
snake.
Dave, you should build a big complex on one of your things, like a big farmhouse with all training stuff. Put a boxing ring, a UFC
can.
thing in there.
Yeah.
a dojo.
He's COVID lockdown.
Yeah,
He'd
we're in
get
lockdown.
everybody over
How
there.
long is that going to, Dave? How long is this going to be for?
You tell me, when the freak is this thing done already?
Oh, see
It's
that,
done already.
George?
It was done day one. In Africa and the countries where they're not wearing masks and they're not overweight,
Just get a vaccine.
they have nobody really died from the virus. Here, because you got more than 80% of the population is severely overweight. Those are the people who died.
Georgie, I went into a store last week, and there's this obese woman with a mask on in front of one of those little podiums in front of the door, and it's got hand sanitizer and masks and all this shit. And I walk in there, and she says, "Sir, you need a mask." I said, "No, I don't wear a mask." She said, "Well, I'd feel much more comfortable if you wore a mask." I said, "Lady, I feel much more comfortable if you lost 10, 80, 90.
I knew you were
Ah, that's
say that
not nice. That's not nice.
Why? Why? He
Why?
actually helped her.
That fucking pissed me off. Hey, I'm fucking healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm totally okay because I take care of myself.
Yeah, you're right.
wants to sit and watch soap operas and eat bonbons all day, and then I gotta wear a fucking mask because she's in a fucking rascal? No way.
John, does anyone eat bonbons anymore? That used to be the bonbons used to be the expression in the 90s. Do women sit on the couch and do bonbons anymore?
Yes, the fat ones. That's how they get.
Wait,
that.
I want to know. John, did you get vaccinated, or Dave? Did you get vaccinated?
No. I'm playing the watch and wait game. I want to see how.
No, the vaccination kills people. People die left and right.
We don't know that. We'll find out in another 6 months or so.
I think that Tyler's one of those people that likes, like, he's democratic, you know, like, we need to wear the mask and all that. What you think, Greg? We need to wear the mask. No, wait, Tyler, are you wearing a mask right now with Dave?
I've never seen Tyler wear a mask in here at all.
You had me wear a mask when I came back.
Oh yeah, when he went on his trip, we made him wear a mask because he went to like Wisconsin or something like that. But
so Tyler's not.
He was tipping cows in Wisconsin. Do you know that Tyler actually wants to move to Wisconsin from warm Cape Corals? Yeah, I told him he's crazy.
They have better cheese in Wisconsin.
That's true.
Very good cheese.
Yep.
Super good. Curds.
Curds and whey.
Curds and whey.
Anyway, where the hell is Jimmy the Bull today? He didn't show up.
Traffic jam.
I should have said. He sent me a video that was so funny. Like, they were drunk on Easter Sunday. He was eating at this restaurant, and they were like, "Yo," his friends like, "Cape Cod, get out of Cape Cod, come over here to New York." Yeah, I'm Cape Cod, Cape Coral. They're like, like Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Cape Coral, Florida.
It's got the word Cape in it.
Yeah, close enough.
Well, he thinks you're in Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Greg, I almost forgot to tell Greg. So I'm in TJ Maxx the other day buying pink Himalayan salt because you can get it there for $5. And so I walk in and there's this. I'm in with me. There's somewhere like near me. There's this black woman, and she's humming, right? And so I'm thinking you in the hospital, right?
Mrs. Clump.
So I'm thinking, like, what is she humming? I got to tell Greg. And I swear to God, I thought I caught a couple notes of Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, but it wasn't.
Oh, my.
She's in the aisle looking at the shoes, and she's humming, and I'm thinking, there's Greg in the hospital. Doesn't know I'm dying.
Oh, my God, it was bad. Mrs. Clump. Oh, my God. She looked just like her.
Yeah, but they hum so good the way she was humming. We wanted to just keep listening to her,
That's what. You know how many people don't know what you know how many young guys are watching this? What does it mean? Sweet low, sweet chariot. Swing low, sweet chariot.
Give us a couple notes, Greg.
I have no idea.
Give us a couple notes.
Swing low,
sweet chariot. I'm coming home. Sweet low, sweet chariot.
Keep singing, guys. I'm going to take us out because we're at the end of another episode of After Hours. I'm Dave Palumbo with the entire Whack Pack. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Sweet low, sweet chariot.
I got to run. George, I'm going to do that video for you, though.
All right.